A woke mob of students is trying to get their teacher fired. It's after she dared to challenge her school's diversity curriculum. The veteran teacher of 15 years writing in a blistering op-ed, quote, "Yes, your children are being indoctrinated," saying that educators are being manipulated and intimidated by a divisive woke ideology, and adding, quote, "There is repeated white shaming and a preoccupation with white people as the oppressor, including staff field trips with a focus on systemic racism." The students are also angry that she won't use their preferred pronouns, but the teacher refuses to back down.
There is frustration inside the buildings. It's pretty miserable on many cases. But yes, I believe that the divisiveness of the DEI message is prompting just a culture of contempt in the building that is intolerable for many of us who work there and have worked there for a long time.
Okay, Jessica, I mean, how much of this speaks to the fact that parents really need to be extra engaged, and that, you know, what we saw in Virginia in terms of parents insisting that they know the curriculum should be in place in every state?
I think parents should be as involved as humanly possible. Whatever extra time you have, you should dedicate that towards understanding what your kids are learning, play a role in it, making sure that they have as many resources as possible, 100% behind that. And I would add, it wasn't just in Virginia, in the New Jersey governor's race, it was a huge issue that people thought could tip the balance and that Phil Murphy wouldn't win re-election. You know where I stand on the pronouns issue, that I don't think that it hurts anybody to use the pronouns that somebody identifies with, but kind of big picture, I'm actually just very happy that these conversations are happening so publicly now, because this has obviously been bubbling for a long time, right? This didn't just happen in the last 2 years that people had problems with the DEI curriculum, or that it just appeared out of nowhere, or that kids felt this way. And having the discussion under the sunlight, you know, the greatest disinfectant, I think makes it more applicable to everybody's everyday life.
Well,
and so,
yeah.
okay.
May I?
Well, let me ask the question,
please.
But isn't it interesting that Jessica says it really doesn't hurt anybody? But isn't the insistence that you insist on calling them a pronoun infringe upon the other person's assessment of male and female?
Exactly where I wanted to go, Judge. Jessica, I haven't sat with you at this table on this topic before, so I didn't know your perspective on pronouns. I'd love to share with you mine. I will honor anyone's subjective choice of what they hope to call themselves in terms of their name. I will not honor someone's demand that I change the English language and what amounts to objective reality based upon their threat. I will not use someone's pronouns because that's just simply not true. Now, the reason I bring that up, though, is because what's notable in this story to me is the way the students are protesting and suggesting that they can get this teacher fired. That's what's notable to me. They think they have that power. They may not be wrong, but they are operating based upon intimidation and fear. And I think to that extent, the entire movement, we're not just talking about trans, we're talking about DEI in general, is catering to people's intimidation tactics. We have a pandemic of cowardice in this country. Stand up, school district. Stand up like this teacher. I think stand up and refer to people by their proper objective pronouns. And if everybody stands up, we'll stop descending into insanity.
Can I just add quickly, and I want to make sure everyone else gets in, but on the pronoun front, the reason that I say that I don't think that it hurts you is that when people talk about transgender issues, they often say, I have nothing against trans people. I hear it all the time about Leah Thomas. I don't care about how Leah Thomas lives, and they would say his life. When you reduce the conversation to that, to purposely misgendering someone, it takes away from the fact or the veracity of your argument that you actually respect the person or you respect that lifestyle.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
I don't
Katie,
think this.
No.
Katie, go ahead.
I don't think this argument is necessarily just about pronouns. The DEI curriculum that she's discussing is a distraction from the fact that the majority of public school students in this country cannot read. They're not graduating from high school. They can't do math, which means they're not going to have a life where they can provide for themselves and not become someone on the street who has to be put through the system and then get mental health problems because they're not able to support themselves because they had a bad education. I applaud her for saying something about this. You know, there are a lot we talk about teachers all the time and all the woke teachers. There are a lot of non-woke teachers who've been biting their tongue for years because they knew that this type of thing would happen. They've been intimidated into silence. And now they're finally speaking out about it and saying, I just want to teach kids curriculum that they can use to become functioning adults in society. And then they're punished for it. It also just proves that in our public school system, the authority has transferred from the adults, or the teachers and the administrators, to the children. And children, including high school students, need a lot of discipline, and they need it from adults, and they've flipped those roles, and it won't end well.
You know, Greg, the point that Katie makes is so clear. Only 29% of kids in this school are proficient in math, 38% proficient in reading, and they're worried about him and her.
Yeah.
And what's even more interesting is it's not a parent making the complaint, it's a teacher. And the teacher is saying that the other teachers are calling her a fascist.
Well, for those protesting students and teachers, my pronouns are F and U. The pronoun thing is a delusion right now. Now, here's an analogy. You got a 4-year-old boy, and he decides after watching TV that he wants to be a fireman. And you get the little hat for him, and he's a fireman, and he's great. He's not, but he can't be a fireman, but he could pretend to be a fireman, and it's great, but nobody's gonna actually make him put out a fire. Imagine a teacher at kindergarten or an activist that goes, no, you're a fireman.
Yep.
And your parents, they were wrong when they told you who couldn't be a fireman. That is what's happening with boys and girls, right? There is an incredible imagination. There's a desire for attention that causes this to happen. And right now, it's almost a social contagion. Well, it is a social contagion. When Marcia Gay Harden says all 3 of her kids are now gay, all 3 of them. Well, okay, is it genetic or is it a social contagion? And which is worse? Because we've suddenly decided you're not born that way. Now you can decide, but if you decide and it's all 3, then you have a social contagion. So what's it gonna be? I think the free speech is about, obviously speaking freely, but it's also about rejecting compelled speech. That's my favorite right. I love being able to say no. I'm not doing it, but let me just finish on this. So why is this variable so tiny? Smallest words, he, she, they. It's a power play. There's something inside a miserable person's life that needs an exertion of power on somebody else. It's like, I have nothing. And when you see a lot of these activists, it's clear. They're miserable, they're lonely, they're seeking attention. And I can compel Will Cain to call me a they.
Power.
Yeah, that's all it is. And if you don't do it, I can ruin you.
Yep.
It's a combination of a contagion and the power farce that people feel all the time.
Just really quickly on the way out, to extend his analogy, it's not an act of disrespect, and I would argue it's an act of love to stop that child before he runs into a building and say, whoa,
yes.
You're not a fireman.
Obviously, you need qualifications to be a fireman, and you don't need qualifications to say that you either were born on a spectrum, which a number of doctors feel about gender, and transgenderism has been around
I don't think kids are qualified.
forever.
I don't think kids are qualified to say that.
Kids aren't qualified to say that I'm not this sex, I'm that sex.
Are you denying the
especially
existence
a minor.
of transgenderism?
I'm denying
Of legitimate, I was born in the wrong body, which has been around.
There's a
forever.
what you're doing is you're conflating a
You
tiny
always
percent.
tell me what I'm doing, and I
I
always
know.
tell you that you don't know what I'm doing.
I knew you were going to say that.
No, I don't think so. I wasn't even repeating that one.
I knew you were going to say that.
We spent too much time together.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.